Hello everyone, I hope you are having a great day so far. Today we are going to be reading this book. It's called How Many Days to America? And it's a story about a family that's forced to flee their home because soldiers are driving them out of their country. Many families around the world experience this kind of tragedy of war and have to leave their homes and immigrate to other countries for safety. As I'm reading the text, I'm going to be listening to that little voice in my head. Usually when we read, we have a voice in our head asking us questions, even just reading the words. And I'm going to be using some sticky notes and a pen as I read today to try and just jot down the questions I have or the thoughts and connections that I have. These are all good things that good readers do as they read to help with their comprehension. Now, many of you may have heard the term reading comprehension. So in order to comprehend, readers pay attention and think about what they are reading. So that's the whole purpose of Stop and Jot, is to record our reading comprehension to make sure we're making sense of what we're reading. Now, as I read, I want you to be taking notes in your journal as well. And we are just going to draw, you can even use sticky notes too. That's what I'm going to use. We're going to get 6 sticky notes, or if you don't have sticky notes, you can just simply draw 6 pretty good sized squares. And they're going to look like this. You're going to use this today and tomorrow, but you won't need to turn it in till tomorrow. What we need from you is to fill in these 6 squares as I'm reading with thoughts and questions that you have as we go. You'll take a picture of it on Thursday and submit it along with your assignment so that we can see that you are tracking your thinking too. Okay, so we'll get started. It's called How Many Days to America? Now, whenever we start a book, we always like to preview it, right? We've talked about good readers previewing their book. So let's look at the cover page here. I'm looking, and I've already written down some questions because I've gotten the chance to kind of look at the book. And I notice on the front it says, How Many Days to America? A Thanksgiving story. So I wondered, why is it a Thanksgiving story? So all I did was take a sticky note, write my question down, and I'm tracking my thinking. I'm leaving those tracks behind, and I just put my question right there. Second, I'm looking at the photo here, and this boat looks really crowded. So that was just kind of a thought I had. So I wrote it down on my sticky note, and I'm just going to stick it and leave that track here. This boat looks pretty crowded. And then I also wonder, where are they going? It could be to America, like the title, or it might be somewhere else. So I'm just going to leave my evidence and tracks, letting people know that I've been here. I've looked through this, and these are the questions and statements that I had. Now, we'll go through to our first page. It was nice in our village till the night in October when the soldiers came. Whoa. So these sentences are such a contrast. 1 minute everything is peaceful, and then the next the soldiers came. So already the voice in my head is already speaking. It's already wondering, does this mean that there's some sort of war going on? It makes me wonder, why did the soldiers come? And it sounds like it might be kind of terrifying. So I jotted down this note here. And I'm just going to take it and stick it and leave it right here so that whenever I go back, I can track my thinking. So let's go ahead and find out more. My mother hid my little sister and me under the bed. When I peered out, I could see my mother's feet in their black slippers and the great muddy boots of the soldiers. So look, the mom already knew the soldiers were dangerous. That's why she hid the children. I feel like that's a really brave mom. So I'm going to go ahead and jot that down. So I just quickly jotted that down. I wrote, Mom knew the soldiers were dangerous. She hid the children, and I wrote brave because I felt like that was a really brave thing for her to do to protect her children. So again, this is just my thoughts. This is just my thinking, my feelings about what's going on in the story right now. When they were gone, my father said, "We must leave right now." "Why?" I asked. "Because we do not think the way that they think, my son. Hurry." Now, I have a lot going on in my inner conversation. First of all, I know that throughout history, people have been forced to leave their homes because they thought differently from the people who were in power. This is one of those big ideas in the story so far, and the Pilgrims are a good example. So it kind of made me think of the Pilgrims, how they also left their countries and came to America for different freedoms from their government. So I'll go ahead and jot that down before we continue the rest of our page. He would not let us take anything. He would not let us take anything but a change of clothes. My mother cried, "Leave all my things? My chair where I sat to nurse our children? The bed cover that my mother made, every stitch by hand?" "Nothing," my father said. "Just money to buy our way to America." So this must be so sad. I'm going to go ahead and just add, I have a little room on my sticky note, so I'm going to just write sad. And then I'm going to write a frowny face, just to kind of also document what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. The word America was not new to me. I had heard it whispered between my parents. In the restless hours of the night, America. We were going there, others too, silently moved along the secret streets. Boats bobbed in the dark water off the quay, and men talked behind their hands while gold passed from one pocket to another. "I must have your wedding ring," my father told my mother, "and your garnets." My mother took the ring from her finger and the garnet necklace from its little bag. Buried deep in her bundle, she did not speak. My father said we would leave while it was still dark. "How many days to America?" my little sister asked. "Not many," my father said. "Don't be afraid." Now I'm looking at the imagery in here, and I'm thinking about the conversations that they've had so far. And I want to empathize. I'm thinking how sad this must be and how scary it must be to have to leave your home. It looks like it's in the middle of the night. It doesn't look like it's daytime, so they're having to rush and leave very fast and leave everything behind. So I'm going to just write how sad that is. Or scary. I'm just going to write how scary it is to have to leave your home in the middle of the night. And I'm just going to put my thinking right there. Now, we have read pretty far in our book so far. We will finish the rest tomorrow. You should have been able to come up with a couple of thoughts and feelings and questions that you've had so far as we read, and those should be written in those a few of those squares that we talked about in the beginning. You'll save that, and you're going to use it tomorrow. You'll submit it with your assignment for the reading assignment for Thursday. We want to see you tracking your thinking as we go. Now, go ahead and answer the questions below this video, and then make sure that you are submitting your Google Classroom assignment as well. Remember, if you need to, you can take a screenshot of your work and then upload it to Google Classroom just in case your answer doesn't populate on our Google Forms.